How is your practice developing? The sati, the knowingness of the heart, what one is doing, why one is doing, and what kind of results it has. It's important. If you don't know what we are doing, if you don't know why we are doing it, how can we change our condition? Yes, it might be deep, yeah. I mean, the conditioning of the light matters or of a light character. I mean, over the years, we have done it already. Now comes the deep things. Now comes our real character traits, that we have to investigate. And we investigate, we do it with the reflection, with the daily reflection. Yeah? Why did I say this? Yeah? Why did I react like this? Yeah? What came before? In the sense of what came before. Not assuming anything, but looking. Yeah? What kind of feeling? How did the morning start? How did I get out of bed? Yeah? Maybe I got up, with the left foot, and then the whole day, is ruined. Huh? That's at least the saying, yeah, but it can happen. Huh? We wake up with the wrong dream, or with the wrong thought, and then the whole day is, is shadowed. So please, if you really want to advance, if you don't want to wake up, from your deep sleep and wake up in hell, do something. And don't think you're safe, because you're a monk, lots of monks are in hell. Probably mostly all of them, except for a few exceptions. If we practice consistently, we don't have to worry about it. If we keep the Patimok, if we keep the 227 roads and, dedicate our life to practice, we don't have to worry to end up in hell. Yeah? But if you start to do this and do that, be interested about this and be interested about that, yeah? Then this can lead, yeah? And this can lead us to hell, yeah? Much quicker than any layperson. Just like Lungta Mahabodh said, when you visit the hells, the hell is full of monks. There's a special realm just for monks in the hell, who don't keep the Vinaya, or are not, or don't do that what they are supposed to do. When we are born in the West, there is something that is probably true for every one of us. Yeah? We resist our parents, we resist the teacher, yeah? We resist our boss, yeah? And that has become a nature of ourselves, and we don't even realize it. Yeah? And now, with a little bit of sati, we could see the resistance, and the resistance takes place, yeah? It takes place in our heart, and it is actually a very uncomfortable feeling. Resistance not to do, what one is supposed to do, yeah? Or the resistance, yeah, to be bothered by this or be bothered by that, that one doesn't like, yeah? Resistance and not liking is very, very close together, yeah? Just one of the forms of dislike, yeah? And that goes on, and we are not really aware of it. And this has to change. Yeah? If you, yeah? I mean, how can we get free if you constantly resist, resist the truth, yeah? Resist the teaching, yeah? And what is freedom? And freedom is certainly not resisting, because resisting is a form of dukkha. Yeah? Resisting is a form of dislike, and that leads to dukkha. And it is the source of your laziness. Yeah? Not when you sweep, the laziness to pick up a leaf. Yeah? When you do this, the laziness to, you see something that is not in order, the laziness not to put it in order. It's also, it also belongs to the realm of resistance. Don't bother me with this. I don't want to be bothered with this. I don't want to be bothered with that. Yeah? It's fine when the moment you go to your kuti. Yeah? I mean, the only thing you shouldn't do that is don't be bothered, to meditate. Yeah? When you go back to your kuti, I mean, you're not bothered at all. Yeah? I mean, you live in a separate space. Every one of you, I mean, you normally don't see your neighbors, yeah? So you're there alone, yeah? You're alone in your space, and you can do you can do walking meditation, you can do sitting meditation. Nothing bothers you except what? Except the kilesas, who constantly want this, who constantly not satisfied with this or that. Yeah? Freedom is not wanting anything. Yeah? It's not wanting to change anything. It's not wanting to change this person or this situation or that situation. Yeah? Freedom is just being happy, with the way things are. Yeah? Having understood, the way things are, the nature, of all these things. Yeah? They're just phenomena popping up, and dying down. And we latch onto these phenomena, and make them, and have the feeling to make them stable, and make them not disappearing again by hanging on in our thoughts and imagination. But they all pop up, and disappear. And pop up and disappear, pop up and disappear. All these things, thoughts pop up and disappear, feelings pop up and disappear. Some of them, pop up, and it takes a while for them to disappear, just like feelings. Thoughts are very quick to disappear. Memories, they are more sticky. And the body is the most sticky of all. It only disappears after 60, 70, 80, 90 years. For most of us. For some of us, it disappears already when they are born. And that depends on our karma. So freedom, what is freedom? Freedom is not wanting to change anything. That doesn't mean one cannot change it, but not wanting, the desire to change things, because of one's own thoughts, because of one's own ideas. We don't change things because of our own ideas, just because we change things, when there's a necessity to change. Not when we think there's a necessity. It's a difference. It's a big difference. But we love to change things because, we are not comfortable with the way things are. And most of the time there's no need to change anything at all. The way, the way we wash our bowl, the way, we go on Bindabat, unless you notice that there's no mindfulness, that there's no sati. Then you have to change things. When you notice, your reflection, you constantly forget your reflection, then you have to change things. Reflection is that what gives us an image of what we are doing, why we are doing, and what results it has. And it is very important in our practice. I stress it, just like I stress sati. And this this defense mechanism that we have, or the resistance, I mean, also talked a lot about resistance, Kramp Föhn. I mean, if we resist something, then we should resist the kilesas. Constantly telling us what to do, what to change, what not to do, what to like and what not to like. That's where we should resist, the authority, the real authority over us. This we should resist. Not going into, not buying into it. But we resist everything else. I mean, this chitta is so extremely powerful. I mean, if it really wants to do something, it can do it. There's no limits to this chitta. It's you who limit it. It's you who put it into a cage and said, I cannot do this, I don't understand this, That's a cage you put it into, and then of course, you believe, I can't do this, I don't understand that. Actually, it's I don't want to understand it, I don't want to be bothered by it, because I want my peace, If you really want peace, drive out the kilesas, these obnoxious kilesas that constantly haunting you, constantly are there in your head, turning around, with images, with thoughts, with ideas, with concoctions, or proliferations, whatever you call it. That's what you should resist. And they are constantly bringing up matters, they can't rest, it's just like a perpendiculum, something that has its own momentum, And our practice is there actually, to stop this or to slow down the momentum until we can stop it altogether and drive out all the kilesas, and then there's no momentum. Then there's no more desire in ours. Desire wanting this and wanting that, not liking this or not liking that. Then there's just, cause and effect, without any intentions anymore. That's freedom. So we even resist freedom. We escape from freedom, and put ourselves in some little cage, this I can understand, and everything else I don't want to understand, or I can't understand, because I can't be bothered, trying to understand it. It's not that we cannot understand it. Whatever we put our mind on, we can do it. We have the wrong notion, if I say this, of course, we can learn to do it. We're not perfect the first time. And that's what we expect. I don't understand how this notion comes into place. If we try out something, then we instantly expect it, to become perfect, or become usable. We tend to forget, that we learn to walk by getting up, and falling over, getting up and falling over until we could learn, until we could walk. And that is with any kind of business, the business that you studied, the business that you you learned, it was, it's the same thing. If it is necessary for our existence here as monks, in this monastery, you should learn it. If it is learning about the studies of the stars, that's nobody requires you to do that. But for our existence, we should be able to learn it. And not constantly resist, I can't do it, I don't understand it, I don't want to understand it. That is not helpful, it shows us, and we are stupid enough not to see the dukkha of this. Are we really that stupid, not to see the dukkha, the dissatisfaction with this resistance? Don't we see it? If you can't see it, or if you can't start to see it, good night, Stay fast asleep, until you die, and maybe, or hopefully, the work that you have done, leads you to a better life, But the more we sleep, the less likely we are waking up in a good place. Yeah? See what is going on within your heart, yeah? It's essential. Yeah? But for in order to be able to see what is going on in our heart, we have to have some quietude of mind. We have to have some sati, yeah? Knowing, yeah? Sati is knowing what is going on, knowing our intentions, knowing that there's a thought, knowing that there's a feeling, knowing that there's a memory coming in, knowing that there's a sense sensation, and then knowing, the whole process of it. What happens after the sense sensations, yeah? What happens there? Huh? And if you watch, or if you observe the mind, then it tries to find an association. Huh? So it finds a label. Yeah, this was a dog. This is a, this is a bird. This is a snake or a rat or whatever. This association, or this is a human. Yeah, this is a male. This is a female. And then from that on, our imaginations are born. Yeah, our associations come into full play. Yeah, the thoughts, first of all, but the moment we have this label or we have this image, of what is happening, instantly, there's a feeling attached to it. We like it, or we dislike it, or it's neutral. Yeah? And dislikes and the dislikes, produces thoughts. Yeah. And these thoughts come, and then the more memories coming, and within the blink of an eye, we do have, we do have a heavy feeling. Eh? Or sometimes, we do have lots of anger coming up. Or lots of greed coming up, not knowing, we only see the greed and we don't know how it got into place. What happened before that? That is the most important question that we should ask ourselves. Yeah? Okay, is this understood? So, this was a short talk. And talks don't need to be very long, they need to be just down to the point, yeah?